What is the expectation they have on Annamalai on TN politics?
Itself has got a good support base in Tamil Nadu, which people are not able to figure it out. The common man would support BJP, but the party machinery is not there. Last Sunday, the DMK IT wing blue-ticked verified account says that we are not raising Dravid Nadu. In rest of the country, BJP targets urban areas and then goes to rural areas. But in Tamil Nadu, the reverse has to happen.
Kongu Nadu a counter to the Ondriyam, or the Kongu Nadu is something which is required in the current scenario?
Now, BJP did not raise the Kongu Nadu at this point of time. It was the newspaper which raised. There are genuine concerns which people have towards the asking for a state, new state called Kongu Nadu. If they feel they've been deprived of, which I also feel, then there could be a movement for a separate Kongu Desam. It will not be Kongu Nadu, it will be Kongu Desam. Mr. Annamalai is coming with a humongous expectation, not only from the BJP cadres, but also from the people of Tamil Nadu, because people of Tamil Nadu have been vexed.
What is this Ondriyam and why they are initiating this now?
In the Google Translate, if you put union in English, in Tamil nothing will come, and it will start translating into union. That is where these people started. I am not saying anything, okay? They promised that the NEET will be abolished in the first session of the assembly. BJP can send sizable number of member of parliament to the Lok Sabha in 2024. Then you are looking at a game changer in 2026.
Hello Samaniyar viewers, Namaskaram. So for the very first time we are trying this program in English, as many audience requested us to do it in English, because many people outside Tamil Nadu doesn't understand Tamil Nadu politics. That is the first instance which made us to do this. And we have our own Jankipat Sreeram sir with us. How are you?
Vanakkam, Namaskaram, top of the world, doing great. It is a fantastic initiative, Nagaraj. In fact, I've been telling you that, because Tamil Nadu politics is not being followed by many people because there is not much national coverage on this, and language is also a barrier. It is a great initiative, and I'm sure that people across the country would support and subscribe to your channel and regularly watch our weekly roundup, which is going to start now. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I'm very happy to have you as the first guest in the show, sir. I'm very, very happy. So the first question comes on the Ondriyam. So what are the people who are in Delhi doesn't understand? My friend in Mumbai asked me, what is this Ondriyam? So do you say that it's the Indian states are formed in the US model, or how it is? So the first question is DMK's Ondriyam. So what is this Ondriyam and why they are initiating this now? Because they were in the central government in previous governments, they were part of central governments, but alone this time after winning this election, they are using the term Ondriyam. So what is this Ondriyam?
See, basically, let us understand one thing. India is not United States of America. India is not United States of India. Okay. First, the country was formed and the states were there, and states creation, states, being bifurcated, trifurcated, these are all the responsibility of the central government. India is a union. Bharat is a union of states. That is what it is. And the tradition has been to call the government at Delhi as a central government. And why this union thing came into picture? Because Panchayat is also union. So many union is there. So as a result of which, what happened was I figured out that in the Google Translate, if you put union in English, in Tamil, nothing will come. But if you put Ondriyam in Tamil, and it will start translating into union. That is where these people started. And what is really unfortunate, in fact, that's what the president who has occupied the chair today from BJP of Tamil Nadu, is that he clearly says, Mr. Karunanidhi called it as central government. Even on the floor of the assembly, Mr. PTR Panivel Tyagarajan, who is the finance minister of Tamil Nadu, calls the Manmohan Singh as central government, and the government led by Shri Narendra Modi, he calls it as Ondriyam government. These are just to divert the issues which are there. Fundamentally, the promises which the DMK has given, which are endless, and none of those promises can be fulfilled so easily. To divert all this is being taken. It can also be construed as something to show the union government or the central government in a sad state. That's the whole idea. They should stop it.
Okay. The question arises here is the Kongu Nadu. So once this Ondrium came, after 2 to 3 weeks, the BJP has started coining something called Kongunadu. Even in a Tamil daily newspaper, Dinamalar has written an article for a whole full page about that. So is Kongunadu a counter to the Ondrium, or the Kongunadu is something which is required in the current scenario?
See, let us understand one thing. Mr. Murugan, when he was appointed as the Union Minister of State for Information, Broadcasting, Fisheries and Animal Husbandry, in his profile he had mentioned as Kongunadu - Tamil Nadu. He comes from that Kongu region. That's a simple thing. Now, BJP did not raise the Kongunadu at this point of time. It was the newspaper which raised. There are genuine concerns which people have towards the asking for a state, new state called Kongunadu, because they constitute more than 40% of the revenues to the entire state of Tamil Nadu. So it is an issue by itself. Yes, there are certain elements who are also supporters of BJP. There are certain lower rung of leaders in BJP who think Ondrium is a direct corollary, or to answer Ondrium, this whole thing called as Kongunadu has come into existence. But we have enough and more clarifications that BJP is not going to take it up because it's a national party, it will not take it up. Now it is a question of the people of that particular region. If they feel they've been deprived of, which I also feel, then there could be a movement for a separate Kongu Desam. It will not be Kongunadu, it will be Kongu Desam.
So Nadu and Desam both are same, right? You don't have a difference. So why you coin it as Kongu Desam, then Kongu Nadu, and all these stuff? It
See,
is
we do not have any
unnecessary, right?
other.
For the past, see, when the Madras state was turned into Tamil Nadu, from this point, these kind of issues have not come. See, there were lot of requests, but from a central government point of view or something, see, it was written in the portfolio of MOS, the Ministry of State Murugan. So that's where this question comes, right, sir?
See, let us understand one more thing. Every time DMK has taken up the separatist agenda or the item, now they have faced electoral defeats. The moment they dropped the separatist Dravida Nadu proposal, that is when the DMK started to grow. In the last 4 years or 3 years, we are seeing again the concept of Dravida Nadu coming into picture again. So that is one thing which we need to understand. And we also need to understand that majority of people in Tamil Nadu do not like this concept of Dravida Nadu and all those stuff. Okay, and particularly people coming from that region, what I call as Kongu Pradesam or whatever is. So there's a name, that's it, nothing bigger than that. But they hate the whole concept of any anti-national separatist arguments, which are being made even now. Last Sunday, the DMK IT wing blue-ticked verified account says that we are not raising Dravida Nadu, but still the concerns for having Dravida Nadu remains the same. Which means, are they talking about separatist tendency again? So when they talk about separatist tendencies, all these comes. And how do you call Pradesh? You call Madhya Pradesh, you call Andhra Pradesh, you call Himachal Pradesh. Okay, so Pradesh is a word which has been used right in the beginning. I don't know why we got Tamil Nadu. It should have been Tamilagam actually. Okay, it should be Tamilagam. So anyway, it's all a name, so let's not dwell too much into it.
So it has been more than 90 days since Stalin took over as a chief minister. How do you rate his government?
See, it's not 90 days, it's almost 70, 71 days have gone. So I do not have to comment at this point in time. Let me tell you a few things which he had promised right in the manifesto, because I think we'll dwell at length on one of the programs about the DMK manifesto and the delivery, maybe at the 100th day. That would be the appropriate one. The first promise he gave was the moment the party is elected to form the government, in the first assembly session, NEET will be banned and abolished. Is that what Mr. MK Stalin had promised? Now it is written clearly on the wall that it is not going to happen, number one. Number two, one of the major concerns has been that the petrol and diesel hike, and Mr. MK Stalin promised that petrol prices will be reduced by 5 rupees and diesel rates will be reduced by 4 rupees. And now the finance minister of Tamil Nadu comes and says, did we tell you date? We told you, but we didn't tell you date. Now, there cannot be a more absurd comment than this. Number three, they promised 1,000 rupees per month for per person, woman. Now, 1,000 rupees has not come. They promised that 7 people who have been arrested and who have been in the jail for languishing in jail for 30 years now, the people who had been the orchestras of Rajiv Gandhi's assassination would be released. and nothing has moved in that particular angle. Okay, we are only talking about the promises. They talked about a turmeric board which will be formed in Europe, in Erode. Now, I don't see any development happening on that front. So
No, this has
whatever,
been just 70 days. This has been just 70 days, right? So how can you expect everything to happen on all the 70 days?
I am not saying anything. Okay, they promised that the NEET will be abolished in the first session of the assembly. Now they knew pretty well that this cannot be done. This is against the Supreme Court verdict. Why did they then promise? They won this election on the dead body of that girl called Anita. Let me go on record and say, they showed her face also. They said Anita is a victim of NEET, and that is the reason why they got a lot of youngsters vote. They promised that 5 rupees and 4 rupees would be immediately decreased to the petrol and diesel. It had not happened. And they also said LPG rate will be reduced on the day of the former Chief Minister, late Kalaignar Karunanidhi's birthday, which happens to be June 3rd, if I'm right. And June 3rd has passed and almost 40 days has gone. Now, the next question they will ask is, which June 3rd did I tell you? Did we tell you June 3rd, 2021, or did we tell you June 3rd, 2026? Elect us in 2026, and then we will come and see. See, but the point is, when you can spend 2,500 crores to build a park in Chennai, turmeric is something which is essential, and turmeric is something which has got a huge market across the world. You do not know, Mr. Nagaraj, 60 rupees is the cost of turmeric production which the farmer gets in Nizamabad in Telangana. Even if you calculate all the freight charges, it comes to 110 rupees by the time it goes to United States of America. In New York, the same turmeric which is coming from Nizamabad is sold for close to around 1,400 rupees in dollar terms. Now, such is the kind of profitability which is there. Now, we know pretty well that in Erode there can be a potential for turmeric board and turmeric farming. Now, what is it the government is doing? This 2,500 crore investment on park is required, they may argue, but what is required upfront? No, the question of importance and urgent. So this was important and urgent, but no mention was made about it. Today, all the promises which the DMK has made has gone down the drain. That's what I'd say. As I told you, on the 100th day, I will come and tell you clause by clause, point by point, what did DMK promise and what did they deliver. And it is up for people to decide whether they have delivered or they will deliver or they have not delivered.
Okay, so on 100th day, we'll have a special show for this with their manifesto, and we'll compare what they have done and what they have not done. Yeah. So the final question for the day comes on Annamalai. He has been elected as the state president. So what is the expectation they have on Annamalai on tea and politics?
See, there is a humongous expectations from Annamalai. Annamalai is a novice to politics, but at this age, he has achieved something phenomenal. He is an engineer on mechanical engineering from one of the most prestigious institutions of Tamil Nadu. He had done his MBA from IIM Lucknow. He has been a ranking IPS officer. He has served with distinction in Karnataka. So he comes with a humongous expectation. And he comes from a poor farmer family in the Kongu region of Tamil Nadu. So there is a huge expectation from Mr. Annamalai. Now, BJP itself has got a good support base in Tamil Nadu, which people are not able to figure it out. The common man would support BJP, but the party machinery is not there. Even now, people are saying it's 2%, 3%, 4%. I believe it is up to around 8 to 10% BJP supporters are there in Tamil Nadu. But unfortunately, the party machinery is not there. So the first thing which Mr. Annamalai must do is to activate the party machinery right in the grassroots level, which he has committed to. And he needs to go to the village. Because in rest of the country, BJP targets urban areas and then goes to rural areas. But in Tamil Nadu, the reverse has to happen. Because urban voters predominantly go behind DMK. It is the rural voters who know the pain of dealing with the party men on the ground. So the rural base is the most important thing which he has committed to. Number two, BJP starts with a terrific social engineering. They have got a solid subcaste of Dalit votes, what you call as Devendra Kula Velalar, because century-old issues of theirs is being slowly addressed by BJP, which has not been taken up by anybody else. And then from the Arundiyar community, which is also a Dalit community in the Kongu Nadu or Kongu Dayasam or Kongu side, you have the first union minister coming up from there, Mr. L. Murugan. And from the northern side on Dalit, we have Ma Venkatesan, who has been appointed, given a big position as far as national level is concerned. So that is one part of it. Then comes the other social engineering. in terms of, because the BJP's greatest asset today, Mr. Annamalai's greatest asset today is that he can do social engineering without indulging in caste politics. There are several societies, social groups and communities which have been deprived of the benefit from successive Dravidian governments, like Muttraya, like Saurashtra, like the weavers community, what you call as Salir. I'm just giving an example of a few of them. So these people's issues have not been addressed. If these people's issues are addressed, like same as the case with tribal, in the tribal population, already BJP has got good traction. If you look at Nilgiris as a constituency, Ooty as a constituency in the 2021 election, the rural side of it, which is basically the tribal belt, voted for BJP. But the urban side voted for DMK. That is why DMK won. So this is another one. So, and then comes Mr. Annamalai himself goes on record that a minimum 3 crore people from Tamil Nadu have got benefited out in some way or other from the central government scheme. It could be Ujjwala scheme, it could be, toilet scheme, it could be housing scheme, it could be, what you call as the bank account scheme. Okay, then Jandan account, or it could be the 38 lakhs farmers who have got 8,000 rupees till now. Sorry, 16,000 rupees from now. 8 into 2,000 rupees, 16,000 rupees from now. So somewhere around 3 crore people is a big base. The vote base of even these two parties, DMK and ADMK, is around 1.5 crores. Now 3 crore people have got benefited. So these messages have to be taken to the public. So I feel Mr. Annamalai is coming with a humongous expectation, not only from the BJP cadres, but also from the people of Tamil Nadu, because people of Tamil Nadu have been vexed. Vexed because they haven't seen a common man come up. Edappadi is, of course, a common man. Mr. Edappadi Palaniswamy, that is why I appreciate him. He also comes to the farmer community. Now, on the contrary, you have a ruling party where the son of a former chief minister has taken over, and the grandson of the former chief minister and the present son of the chief minister is being built as an heir apparent. So as a result of which, I feel there is enough and more chance. There is a lot of hard work to be done, but I'm sure Mr. Annamalai, who has just taken over the president of Tamil Nadu unit of BJP today, would do a stupendous job. He has the commitment, he has the initiative, he has everything going in his favor, and he also has an incumbent government which is unable to deliver on its promises. As a result of which, all in all, even though there are several challenges, because even today BJP is looked at as a North Indian party, it is looked at as a Brahmin party. Unfortunately, there is no question of a Brahmin party, because right from top to bottom, there is no Brahminian dominance or anything of that kind. So then it has been projected as an Hindutva party. So all this needs to be broken. These narratives needs to be completely, hit for 6, and once they do it, Annamalai will firmly establish himself as a leader. Last but not the least, the immediate task is, as they build the grassroots, my earnest appeal would be for Mr. Annamalai is to identify Lok Sabha constituencies, maybe 5, 6, I do not know how many, could be Nilgiris, could be Coimbatore, could be Trichy, could be Madurai, could be even Tirunelveli, okay, could be Ramanathapuram, okay, could be South Chennai. Okay, I'm just narrating a few of the seats, because these are seats that some stage or other BJP has got a good presence. Now, if we can concentrate on those seats and deliver, and if BJP can send sizable number of member of parliament to the Lok Sabha in 2024, then you're looking at a game changer in 2026.
So we are ending this show by Annamalai will be a game changer for 2026. So let's see. Very excited. The first show. Thanks, Sreeram sir, for joining me as a guest.
Nagaraj, it's not 2026. Game changer for 2024.
Thanks for joining the show, sir. Let's wait and watch what is happening. We'll give every week. We'll give an update on what is happening in Tamil Nadu politics. And this show is going to be a regular show with our channel, and see how it works.
So thank you very much. Looking forward to connect with you regularly. Thank you very much. Stay safe.
Thank you, sir.